Okay. Welcome everyone to the City of Glens Falls Water and Sewer Board meeting for Monday, June 3rd, 2024. With that, I will open the meeting to any public participation. Seeing no one from the public present, we'll move ahead to stormwater moment. That was included in your packet. Maintaining with the same theme that we see every month, other than last month's crossword puzzle. You here basically see a greenscape here to where the flows are directed and filtered through the soil. You see curb that pushes it towards the greenscape, keeping the water down so that's settled down through the soil, kind of removing any impurities through the grass and mulch and plants. Hopefully, for the most part, that some of these chemicals that get into there don't harm any of the vegetation, and then is filtered through the soil and then returned to the tributaries clean.
Perforated pipe, it doesn't get filled with dirt.
Usually it's encased around gravel, so that the dirt doesn't get into it. And usually it has some sort of filter bag or filtered material over it so that the soil doesn't enter it. Any other questions? Okay, move on to billing issues. Have quite a few here that we've tabled for a while. We'll start with the 150 Broad Street. Anybody have any questions on that one? This was a gentleman who had done some work at a business, compartmentized an area that was compartmentized off, had a leak in it that they didn't realize. And they kept.
Well, that's the mini mart.
Yeah, they kept asking us, if there was an issue because their bills were so high. They said, it's got to be some internal. They kept having people come, including I believe he said Jack Hall was his plumber that tried to figure everything out. They couldn't find anything. Finally, they ripped open a wall and they found something leaking there. And once they did that, everything returned to normal.
What we've done in the past is gave them relief on the sewer portion of that.
Yeah.
Never reached the sewer system.
Yeah. And
The water, they got it, they bought it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Break
Yes.
into the wall.
And that seems to be an equitable, fair solution, so.
And so I had Mary Beth break out the sewer portion. The sewer portion is just under $6,000.
How much is it?
Just $6,000 just the sewer portion. So it's
Total.
$59,7147.
What's the total bill?
That I'd have to
That's a lot.
look.
That might be a new record.
Uh-huh.
This shows.
Yeah.
Was it?
9 or 10 it looks like?
Yeah, it looks like it's close to 10
Yeah.
for the,
25.
They're close to 10,000.
Yeah.
90 something.
Started leaking 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Or 3
Yeah,
months
just
ago.
under 10. 996289.
So we're leaving 6,000 of that?
If you take the sewer portion.
Well,
And that's
the amount shouldn't, it fair is fair, they didn't tax their
Sure
system.
that it didn't go
That's
to
my
sewer?
thought, is it?
It's a lot of water.
Um,
Inside the building, you can see it.
Yeah.
It was leaking inside the building, so I don't, was it?
It'd have to be a dirt floor or something, or no
Not to
floor.
say,
Thick-
it is Ron's right, it's a lot of water, I don't know
Yeah,
where it was
3
going.
month period.
So I mean, if you want to give them, half the sewer or a combination or whatever you think.
So is that for 4 quarters? right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a year's worth of water. I think after it went up once, he questioned it.
I think he did question it, but they couldn't find it. They kept having Jack
Okay.
Hall come and checking everything, and everything was fine, but I think Ron's correct. I mean,
I just
if
wonder
it was that
there's
much water and it wasn't going to the sewer, where was it going?
I
And
wonder if there's a floor drain where this thing was and the water was just running down the floor drain.
I've never been out to the property to see.
It was you know, partitioned out, maybe it went down to the ground.
They are, I mean,
But it's all paid?
I believe it is. Mary Beth is, because if it wasn't paid, it would have got re-levied.
Yeah, true.
I feel like the options are either to give the sewer unknowingly or send somebody to investigate where, did
To
it
see if
run
there was a
out the
floor
parking
drain or
lot
it went
and
down to the sewer.
out the side of the building looking like an air conditioner?
I can do that. I can do
Okay.
that.
Condenser, or did it,
That's a good
was there a
idea.
dirt floor, or
Yeah.
just assume?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's-
We don't know, right?
Table up pending further investigation and
I'll go fill up my tank and take a look.
sounds good.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
Second.
All in favor?
Hey,
All right. We'll move on to, see, Dwell Well properties, the various locations. See that,
I'm sorry, they're not in order.
it's okay. Mary Beth had taken that and said, basically what they said, they had all those properties and they forgot to change their PO box. So basically they were looking for relief from the penalty.
Yep.
Get them all out.
No, I know.
Which,
Do we know if they're, I don't even know if it's proper.
which on the, yeah.
Property taxes up?
3, dwell well.
How much do they owe? Oh, I figured it out.
It's 3, yeah.
Have they paid all of these?
I believe everything, like you said, if it's in the city, if it wasn't paid, it
They get
would
levied,
be levied, because these are fairly old.
Did you find it?
It's the 3, right?
I got the 3, I'm just
There's
looking for
this
the
one.
amount.
That one, and then there's 2 other pages. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for the bill.
Oh,
Did you give it an amount?
yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so.
Got the pa-
I mean, I know the
back up.
last packet had more
Okay.
information too. I don't know if it has enough in this one.
That's okay?
No, that's a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, I think we may have to do the same thing, because I thought I had it here.
I don't know if they have a specific ask of what they're. To remove the penalties.
So they were just basically looking, pardon the late fees,
Penalties.
and paid the,
I'm stuck on this one personally because rules are what they are,
yeah.
which means there isn't much of a decision. However, if they're up to date in their payments and things in a general sense, and this is an anomaly of payment, you know, what would you do if that was a friend of yours or a neighbor? And then a third point being, if everyone in the city or owing us a bill did this, we'd go broke hiring people to chase after the situations. So I'm so on the fence of what is supposed to be done about it. Working with somebody that's generally in good faith, it would seem like some measure of working with them would make sense, but, you know, a precedent's a
it
precedent,
does.
and,
They're
you know, don't
always
wanna make a
paid.
precedent.
You know, they're always paid on time, or
Yeah, right.
they deserve a bit of a break. That's why I'm wondering if it was proper to find out if the property taxes were, you know, up to, where they're supposed to be, and the rest of the school tax and all that. I don't know if that's,
The only thing I get out of it is that the Jennifer Grassi was the property manager, so she should have caught it. But, you know, so maybe give them half. I don't know what the bill is.
I can't seem to, I thought Mary Beth had it here, but I don't see it. So
Oh,
we
okay.
can unfortunately do the same thing, I apologize, but,
What's it gonna cost the city to correct that situation? According
Chris,
to
you know,
Mary Beth, it's gonna be
and Chris is right, is the fact is, you know,
very time
who-
consuming and,
it's whose responsibility to make sure that their
you know,
address is
I don't
changed.
think the city taxpayers should
there's no extenuating
be
circumstances. It's
paying
not like
somebody
she's
to do bookwork in 11
90 years old and
properties.
on a fixed income, you know.
Well, that's what I was trying to flip the scenario to, like, if this was a sole resident, like a homeowner,
Right.
and we looked and saw a scenario that, you know, that would enter into the thinking, maybe, but, yeah, I don't know. I absolutely, whatever it takes to go through and administrate whatever
Would-
augmentation like
How
that needs
much
to
are
be
the total
covered.
penalties anyway? Even an idea?
I'm sorry, I don't, I thought Mary Beth had it here. I thought we
I'm
put all the
looking it up
numbers
from the
together.
last one to
You
see
looking
if
it
it's
up?
in there, well, to see if it's in there from the last one, it should be, cause I think it was.
I thought I had last one's here, I didn't see anything. Here's,
It's just that email. What's that?
We could only do 50% or 25% or something, make sure that, you know, we covered what,
there's like 12 properties.
Yeah.
that's the late penalties?
But is it,
That's what I
I think we covered this in the past, Dave, that if we were to do that, and then some other company or this one in 3 years changed again, for the last time you did this, it's a moment situation, or a moment decision, or is that? they'd
Yeah, I
have-
mean, you're certainly setting a precedent that people can
True.
not do their responsibility and that the city's gonna
Look at the mail.
cover for them.
Yep.
You know, I guess to that point, I mean, this is a property management company.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
should know that their water bills are late.
Yeah, here's this.
So it's not like this is somebody that bought their first investment property and never owned something in a city before. I mean, that would be my 2 cents. It could potentially set a dangerous precedent.
True.
That's kind of where I fall to,
Yep.
personally.
Having said that, maybe the thing to do is just deny it.
And then if they can challenge it again if they want.
Yeah,
I hate to be hardcore about this whole thing, but
that's what I was saying before, if this was owner occupied, single property,
Sure.
having this issue,
or
and that this is this is why, oops, and there's clear history, I feel like there would be a bit of like, oh, let's look a second, but it's a professional organization that
Exactly.
does this for, it's not that
Professional
scenario.
management corporation, they should be whether priorities is getting the taxes all.
And there was no
Part of it.
extenuating circumstances, like nobody broke a hip, and, you know, there was no emergency or extenuating thing.
Plus the other outstanding fact that it's always that cloud day, you're setting a precedent.
Yeah.
So I make a motion we deny the request.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't know. Probably won't sleep tonight.
We'll move on to 73 Cherry Street,
Where's that one?
Antonio Chaltry.
Get it?
Yeah.
This one is curious to me, because when I was looking at it, the fact that it happened a while and then stopped, and Antonio thinks it was the curb stop pole out before the meter issue that did
yeah,
it.
We've explained to him,
Yeah.
Adam, several times, and then he talked to me. I talked to him myself and explained the same thing.
So how did it stop then? Like he had to have repaired
He must have
something.
had to repair it somewhere, and he's not letting on to it.
Okay.
He's saying if anything, it had to contribute, and there's no way that, you know, our curb stop leaking doesn't go anywhere near his meter.
Mhm. Where is this property again? At
73
Cherry
Cherry.
Street?
73 Cherry.
Where's the Cherry?
Right over
Off
here.
Florence
That was between Dix Avenue and,
and Florence.
Yes,
In
I'm
Maple?
at
Maple Street.
Yeah, yeah.
so it'd be at this end.
You can drive it enough if I can pay attention to the streets there.
I think it's up by,
Several of those
it'll be
properties
up by
have been-
Lawrence Street somewhere.
Some,
I think so, yeah.
some, a lot of those properties have been flipped in recent years.
Yeah, I don't think yet he's a landlord. I don't
Yeah.
believe so. So, and, you know, we've spoken to him on several occasions and tried to reaffirm that it's not.
Maybe they
And that was
give,
on the city part.
maybe they give the old college a try.
Oh, I don't know.
I think, I'd like to make a motion we deny that one also.
It's okay.
Yeah. That just doesn't make any sense. Is there any inclination at all that a neighbor had hooked up a hose and haven't shut off anybody else that's a neighbor, right?
No.
Yeah. If somebody was filling swimming pools by his back tap. I
He's the
don't.
landlord, he's not gonna know anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I apologize, I don't know if you've seen this one, 27 Clark Street.
Yes.
Okay. That's part of the area where we just had the couple water main breaks.
I lost a different
Anoida Olson, Penny Olson. She's, you know, one of those hardship cases that Woody was talking about. Elderly woman, barely making ends meet, you know, able to pay her mortgage, and she talked a lot with Mike Regan about seeking assistance from New York State and getting stuff, so. She's rolled everything into her mortgage now, so the bills are getting paid. She can keep
Everything.
up with them. So basically, you know, she's looking for relief from the penalties. The total she owed was $2271.04. Of that, the bill amount was $1219.92, and the penalties was $1,051.12.
I have no problem with granting relief on that. You okay with that, Chris?
Yeah.
I make a motion we grant relief for the 1,000 whatever.
1,000 whatever.
1,051.
Something like that.
Can you put that in?
Yeah, that's exactly how.
1,000
I wrote
whatever.
it, yeah.
I guess the next one would be 13 Cherry Street. That's just a claim, just to keep you abreast of it. That's where we had a sewer issue, so.
Do we have to deny that for them to move the claim along?
No,
Okay.
it's just in the claim. We haven't seen anything from the insurance company back on the claim yet, so.
In the minutes, it says adopted.
Is that,
In the minutes, it said adopted. 13 Cherry Street was adopted.
Check minutes there.
Yeah, weird.
I think that, that's the one.
I think it was adopted because
It was tabled. Yeah,
It was tabled because,
The motion to table was
yeah,
adopted.
adopted because it was, we're waiting to see what the insurance company says.
That's the,
Oh, so,
That's another one. That's
Oh,
a
okay.
different-
that's a claim. I don't think it's on there.
It's not on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
That's a different claim that we got in the clerk's office.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're
So
waiting
that's all
on
set.
that. Yeah.
Then we'll move on to 6 Wilson Street. I know that Commissioner Woodgreen had spoken to Councilman Landry about this. This is a gentleman that lives at 6 Wilson. We put an auto flusher in because he continually gets dirty water. None of the houses around him, doesn't make any sense. There's no houses around him that have any kind of dirty water issues. It wasn't related to the same issues we had back in last fall with the flushing. So this is an ongoing thing. So we've been trying to work with him. I know Dan Gerard's good friends with him, so he's been over there several times trying to figure it out. So we're continuing to figure out. I think the assessor's office received a claim to get some relief from his taxes based on the fact that he doesn't have any clean water. So I sent that to Suzanne in the assessor's office, and she sent it back, and I said, I'm not sure if it's an assessor's issue or a city's issue, a tax issue, or it's the water and sewer board issue. So I didn't see anything back, so I don't know how that they made out with the assessor, so I'll check on that, and we'll see where we are. We'll take a look at, and for the next month's meeting, I'll have all his billing information.
Well, several years ago, Chris and I were talking about earlier, maybe before the Pete was here.
It's a new home, too. It's
Yeah,
not
it was
an
fairly
old-
new, and the gentleman I know was living there, but he was a bachelor, and he was seldomly there. And everybody kind of blames that on the fact he didn't use any water because he solely stayed there. And so that's when they put the flusher valve in there. Is that functioning? I'm
It's,
sure that's one of the first things you would check.
Yeah, it's one of those issues where we first started it up, it was working great, but then it flooded the street. So it's a high water table over there, so we had to pinch it down. So that's one of the other things that we're gonna investigate too, is maybe running some hoses around somewhere so that we can flush it really good to see. But again, to me, if it was a dirty water issue, why is it only affecting one house?
But why did it go for all those years without any issues, or at least nothing he complained about?
And I mean, Dan's been through the house. He's been through the house. There's nothing that he can see.
Is there a hydrant nearby? You could run a temporary line in and see if it clears up.
That's, Jeremy and I had that same discussion, is if we can certainly tap Queensbury's hydrants right there.
Sounds good to me.
If it clears up, I mean.
Yeah, no, that's stuff that we've been looking at, maybe, turning off his meters for a little bit and feeding it from a different source to see.
Sure.
Because we were in that area, we put the auto flusher in, and we also did a repair across the street. And it wasn't a dirty water issue, there was a curb stop leak or something, and we had the whole street excavated, and there was nothing, no running water. There was nothing, if there was a leak in the system, the water would be coming out, not going in,
Right.
so.
Under pressure or something.
No, there's plenty of pressure. So, it's something that's still under investigation, but I just wanted to bring it to the board's attention that at some point, maybe even the resident will come in and speak to, what he's been going through. I mean, they've sent several pictures where the bathtubs are actually, you can see muddy water.
It's really strange, it's one house.
Looks
Do we
most
know-
of
It's
the-
strange, it's just one house.
Does Dan Joe know what the main line is made of? Is it a copper line? Is it something else?
A lot of lines over there, a couple of them that we repaired were PEX, the plastic pipe, but I believe everything's over there is copper, especially his house. It's a new house, it's gotta be.
If if it's under pressure and that means that you don't get dirt coming in, if there's like a crack in it or some void at the curb stop that's allowing dirt in because of the pressure going out.
Well, if you came from another source and fed the house and the meter kept going, no, that wouldn't do it either. No.
So,
If there was a leak there, you normally find out about it
mhm.
at some point, even if it's a small leak.
Yeah.
Would have to be on.
But do you have a way of listening for that?
A leak? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they probably did.
I'm sure they probably did also.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, you know, it is a high water table over there. So it could be finding its way to, a stream or something and not bubbling up out of the street. But I mean, I don't think we would have hit it or seen it. I mean, we were over there several times.
Was there anybody, when the tap was put in, when the house was built, was there any pictures of it, given the newness of it, or
I don't know. I'd have to check.
if we wouldn't have done something that could cause this when we tapped off for him?
No, and then again, I think,
Under pressure.
as Woody said, he was there for years before his family, so he's been in the house, and it seems like it would be the other way around, where if it's dirty and they use more, it'd be
Yeah,
clean.
yeah.
If it's if the water sits or
It
stuff
sit-
in the pipe.
We just chalked out the fact he was never there, so he did put a flusher in and we never heard from him again, so we figured it was solved. That had to have been 10 years ago or more. Could you have been here 10?
I think.
So it's,
So
well, just like I
It's
say, maybe
hot
the
and
alternate
cold water
source.
too? Did he delineate that, hot and cold?
I'm not sure, but probably it's dirty.
It'd be
We tell
great
them
if
try
it
not
was
to use the
Just a
hot.
hot
use
water
that
tank
big
that's
thing.
rotten.
Yeah.
and That's where it's coming from. That'd be
I
great.
mean, it'd be pretty rotten hot water tank with the water there was showing. So we'll do a little more investigation on that and I'll get back to you next one. Another one that was given to us was 220 Sanford Street. The mayor and I met with Mr. Hennel from 220 Sanford. Adam sent some pictures, and Adam was out there checking his meter. You can see the dry well in the picture, and you can see some of the curb. It puddles if you're looking at the house to the left side, some of the puddles, it doesn't make it all the way to the dry well there. He gets a lot of flooding from across the street. There's a pond there, and you get heavy rains, the street floods and it comes down on us and floods onto the road and continues and leaves a puddle in front of his house. So the mayor and I had a meeting with him, as I said, last week, and talked to him. We may be looking at putting like a little bit of a curb line in, so the water just runs right to the dry well. So I have to get a hug with Dan. As far as the 220, 260, I'm sorry, 260, that's just, basically in a swamp area.
Right.
So there's always going to be puddles and waters after rains until it drains. So it was very good meeting. Mr. Hanna was very understanding. He said we'd try some stuff to see what we could do.
Crockwell's old house, 260? There's one by the pond,
It's one that's way down,
almost to the tennis.
almost to the, yes,
that's-
exactly.
yeah. I would imagine there probably are problems there, it's very wet.
So, and that's what we said. And, I mean, the mayor went through the history of the property with them, and they all agreed.
I assume the sump pump is running.
Well, that's one of the things, is that it's constantly running, but with the amount of rain and stuff that we've had, and now we haven't heard from them, so the last few days, hopefully something gets dried up, but now we're gonna get 4 days of on and off rain, so the vicious cycle. Any questions on any of these? Again, that was more of an attention to let you know. All right, move on to resolutions for the approval for the minutes. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve the minutes?
Second?
All in favor?
Thanks.
Okay. We'll move on to the warrant. Any questions there?
None for me.
Oops, sorry about that.
Any of the other commissioners? Look for a motion.
I'll second.
In favor?
Right.
Yes.
We'll move on for the approval for the resolution for the third ward drainage study. This is a grant that we received from the Warren County Soil and Water Conservation District. Jeremy and I have been working closely with Jim Newbern and Diana Palmer about trying to get some studies done in that area. So Jim was successful in getting us a grant from the DEC for $30,000 with a $3,000 match. And what we're also looking to do, and we went through Debbie and the purchasing department, they already have 3 firms picked that they went through a procurement process and shortlisted. So rather than us go out and having to redo all that work, we're going to piggyback off of theirs and pick one of their firms. One of the ones we were very familiar with was Barton & Hughes. So what we want to do is go ahead and have you agree to move ahead with not only the grant, but also with allowing us to utilize Barton & Hughes for the study.
I'll move that motion.
Jeremy, anything to add, or is that?
I'll second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Have some of my backup information. And the next one is Webster Avenue improvements. And what I'll do is I'll let Jeremy talk about this. This is his project, and we opened bids last week, so.
Yeah, thank you. So, last Thursday, the city received 5 bids for the Webster Avenue pavement preservation project. And very similar to past projects like Dix Avenue, or the Elm Street work that's going on now. There's a water sewer betterment element of that project. And so with the low bidder was Peter Louisi Brothers for the amount of $2.67 million. And the bids ranged all the way up to $4.2 million. So it was pretty consistent with the engineer's estimate. We were off by $100,000, but that's not too bad in that magnitude. But basically, the pavement portion of the curbs and the sidewalks, or the street lights, or the signage, the trees, all that stuff is funded through New York State DOT. It's actually trickled all the way down from the federal government. So the highway share is covered by grant money. The improvements to the water and sewer are not. So those will be funded probably by a municipal bond, charged to the sewer, water and sewer.
I know, on the resolution it says general budget. That's gonna have to be.
Right. Is that part of the gas lines coming down by the tennis courts? Or is that
That
different?
is related. That's National Grid doing
Right.
the gas main upgrade, and we're.
Are they gonna come
coordinating-
down with it too?
No, they
Yeah.
just have to go across Glen Street and tie in just into Webster Avenue.
No, wait till it's paid.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, we're doing that.
They don't need to do that till after we're done.
Yeah, no, that's one of those coordination efforts where they're in there doing that now, so when all this is ready to go.
It's like this
we'll-
guy we know said that the blacktop's a lot easier to dig up when it's so hot.
Yeah, right. Don't say it that way. But,
True.
so just to clarify the resolution, the overall bid price, or the low bid was, again, 2.67 million. But after crunching the numbers of the bid items and the unit pricing, the water and sewer share is $737,000 $518.50. So that would be the amount that, I think Bill would ask the commission to, or the commissioners to approve and make the recommendation to the common council to approve.
And that budgeted, that was our portion?
We didn't budget because we didn't know what it was gonna be, but it was never planned on coming from our budget. It was gonna be a bond
Okay.
issuance.
The
So they need a
the state,
non-project.
the state, the state pays the rest of it?
The state pays 80% of the highway
Oh,
portion,
percent.
just of like the surface improvements, nothing under the road. Yeah.
Is that, does that number include a full, thorough, there's no punches pulled to save money for the short term that makes it a 10-year fix instead of a 50 or something like that? Like this number encompasses things my kids will enjoy?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we touched a little bit on it at the workshop. You know, I think the water sewer work includes stretch of new sewer from Bay to the Webster Avenue pump station.
Some lining.
The rest of it gets all lined from Glen Street.
Mhm.
And that's like 30 years, right? 20 or 30 or something like that?
Lining?
Yeah.
It's
No, it's
better than that.
50, 60.
Is it? Okay, yeah.
And probably longer.
Yeah.
I think in light of that, it seems,
I think there's 9 new water valves, and there's catch basin work.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it.
and the main thoroughfare for our treatment plant, or
The water
filtration, I should
The water filtration plant, yes, that line comes down and runs to Webster Avenue, and then is pumped here.
And they've also got that brook to contend with, so. So our portion is between 700 and 800,000.
Yes.
You need a motion for this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Second.
Any questions? Any more questions?
when can you start?
Well, this will be on the common council's agenda for the June 11 meeting.
And we were lucky enough to get the numbers quick enough, because we thought we might have to back into it, where it would go to council first and
Yeah.
come to you, but Jeremy worked on his day off and got the numbers to me, and we were able to put it together.
Thank you, Jeremy. We need to vote on that, all right?
What's that?
We need to vote on the resolution?
Yes, yes. So you had the first, you had the second, and
All in favor?
all we need is all in favor.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep.
And make it legal.
All right, well, thank you. All right, on the 5 discussion, electrical upgrade continues. We had some people here looking at a couple different things a few weeks ago. We just received an email with several questions that Chris and I will sit down tomorrow and go over, maybe this afternoon if we can catch Jason before he leaves, because he's going on vacation, and we'll go over that. But I plan on having Chris Pierce from Wright Pierce here on the workshop, so that he'll, I think he'll get tired of hearing me talk about electrical stuff. And so hopefully by then we have our 60% drawings, and last time we talked to him with all the stuff that we've been doing, he said we were still on track for October, so we'll go with that. The biosolids dump truck, I was hoping to have a resolution here, but we didn't get any information or bids back. I think we may be looking at, Chris, about maybe going for a used one.
If we could get some of the answers.
So,
They're a year out on bodies, and we're kinda looking around for a used one, and that's not going too good because nobody will call us back. So we're looking at trying to do a little work on these bodies to try to make them last, and that's where we're at.
So if we order it, now can we make it through a year with what we've got?
I hope so.
we'll have to figure out a way to do
A lot of
that.
pickup truck loads.
Yeah, we got 2, 3 pickup trucks, we can just keep loading up.
You might want to get a hold of Russell Smith up in Monahan Fabrications. They do a lot of, they do the incinerators on the East Coast. They build the steel for those and everything, so they can weld the heavy metal and everything and make it watertight.
Yeah, we're trying to get a hold of Zwack right now to I think it's Zwack, it's out of Stevenstown, to put a new wet kit on the back. If we can do that, the metal should hold up. I'm not worried about that. It's more the tailgate area that's our problem, where the gasket sets. That's just wore out over the years. Right now, we've done a patch to it to hold it together, but that's not gonna last a year. So we're gonna try to do something with that. And that's what I was doing before I came in. I was talking with maintenance manager Jason Violator about it.
Any questions? All right, we'll move on to personnel. We have a lab tech that we interviewed. We have a candidate that will start on the 17th. So excited about that. So that's about it. I talked to Judy today about maybe getting another couple of summer helps to go ahead and paint the hydrants again this summer.
Yep.
Get them done, and maybe everything looks good again. Maybe we can skip a year next year, but I'd like to get them, maybe hit some of the ones they missed or spots that they missed. But to go ahead and do that, and it helps us to, because if it's raining, we get to keep them and help us, do some painting
cleaning.
inside stuff and doing some cleaning work.
Did they complete them all?
I think they got to every one of them. Some of them better than others, but so we'll take a look at that. So that's where we are. I have nothing for executive session. So Ron was nice enough. I guess he got a proposal from the cycling advocates, the Ironic Cycling Advocates. I don't know if you want to address this now or put it on the workshop.
Why don't we put it in workshop? I'll let her know, because I told her I'd get back to her and let her know what we're gonna do.
Okay, this way everybody has a chance to review
Chance
it.
to read it, go through it.
Yeah, I'll send it out with the
Put it on
agenda
the
for
agenda.
the agenda for the
Yeah, I think that's the
workshop.
best way to go about it.
Then we'll go from there.
This says second installment, halfway down the page. Completing of a site visit narrative report and map. No construction.
It's no money to the city, that's to them. They raise the money for that. The city doesn't, it's not gonna cost the city anything to.
But
Yeah.
I think what Pete's asking, this is just a plan, this isn't construction.
No, it's construction here.
This is construction? Nav report, on-site assessment. See? Didn't get a chance here.
So, the second installment's the money at completion of the site visit narrative and reported map. So, that's what we would need is,
Yeah, but
see where it's gonna be and everything.
Then, then we make our comments to make sure, it's far enough away from the reservoir and things of that nature. Access and things like that.
Anybody have any idea what portion of that lower watershed that they're looking at to develop?
I have no idea, I don't even know.
That's
if
what I
they
mean,
know.
they do.
I don't know if they're, whether they're using the existing
asked her
bike
that-
trail that is there. mean,
I asked her that, she said they hadn't even looked at it there before they spent time on it, so
we don't have any plans.
they hadn't really decided on any.
If you want, I can tell her she can make the workshop to be here
Sure.
and answer any questions that anybody has.
No, that would be good.
Okay.
This way, at least we get to read the proposal and know the facts before she comes in and addresses them. No further questions. Next proposed meetings will be June 17th for the workshop, Monday, June 17th. And then Monday, July 1st. Do we even have May?
Wow.
Okay.
It was just flew. With that, I'll look for a motion that Emily wants to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.